Hi, this demo is going to be about the scanner class and user input. So when we want to be able to take input from the user of our program, we need to use a class called the scanner class to do that. And before we can use the scanner class, we need to go to the very top of our code, so right above where it says class main, and add an import statement. So we're going to add import java.util.star. Now .star basically just means that it's going to include any class that's out of that util package. And there are a lot of them, but the scanner class is in there. So these are all classes that have already been created for you to use for various things. And soon down the road, we'll learn about another class called the string class that's also already been created. So when I go to use the scanner class, the first thing I need to do is create a scanner object, just like I would for any class that I'm using. So I'm going to say scanner user equals new scanner. And then inside the parentheses is a system.in. And the reason for that is it's just part of the constructor for the scanner class. We can also read files with the scanner class, and what would be in the parentheses would change if I was reading a file. User is the name of the object of the class, and that's what we're going to use to call the methods. Okay, so anytime I want to take information in from a user, I need to make sure that I prompt them for what information they need. Otherwise, it's just going to, the program's just going to halt and stand there and wait for user information, and the user's not going to know what to do. So prompting them would mean I need an output. So I'm going to say system.out.print, and I'm going to say enter your name. How about enter your first name? And then after I prompt them, I want to take in their first name. So since their first name is a string, I'm going to use a string variable to store that. So I'm going to say string first equals, and here's our first scanner method at use. So user dot, and in order to read in just one single word, I would say user dot next. If then, and just to kind of test out my work, let's just do a .print line, and we'll just have it print first. So let's go ahead and run this and just see what we have so far. Okay, so it starts by saying enter your first name, and if I put in Aaron, and then it prints Aaron. So we know that Aaron was actually stored as that in that memory location called first. Okay, if say I want them to enter in, let's just look at the other methods. Enter your favorite number. And that's going to be an integer because my favorite number is not a decimal. So I'm going to say int fav equals user. So again, user is the object, dot, and then whatever, how would I read in a number? So Java needs to know that when you're using the scanner class, you have to indicate by the method what type of stuff you're reading in. So this one's actually going to be next int to read in an integer. To read in a double, it would be next double. So we'll just put that comment in. Reading in a double would be dot next double instead of next int. Okay, so you always have to go with whatever's being read in. And if we want to check our work again on that other one, system.out.print, let's say we'll say your favorite number, because it's the user, your favorite number is, and then plus fave, because that's what they would have stored it as. And we'll just do another quick test here. Okay, so it asked me to enter my first name, Aaron. Enter your favorite number, mine's 8. Your favorite number is 8. Last one I want to show you is if I would like to read in a whole line. So system.out.print, let's ask you to enter your city, comma, state. So that's also going to be a string, and we'll call it CS for city state. And now we're going to say user dot, and then instead of just next, it's next line. So next will only read up to the first white space. Next line would read the entire line. So system.out, let's just test it. We'll just have a print CS. Now, I suspect we may run into a little problem here, but we're going to go ahead and run and test it. My first name's Aaron. My favorite number's 8. And notice that now it says enter your city state, and then it doesn't allow me to enter it. And the reason that that's happening is that when I try to use a next line after any of the other ones, what it does is it automatically just reads the rest of the line that's already there. So that's not a common thing for it to happen, but it just depends on the order that you're doing your inputs. So to fix that, anytime I have a next line following a next int or a next double or something like that, an easy way to fix it is just in here to just enter in an empty user.next line where we're not actually setting it equal to anything. So it's just reading out the rest of the blanks. So now when I go ahead and run it this time, and this will be our last test, my first name's Aaron, my favorite number's 8, and now it's letting me enter in a city. So Romeo, Michigan. And now that's working just fine. So there's a quick tutorial on user input. Biggest thing I want you to remember is to make sure that you're prompting the user for what you want, and then you need to make sure you're using the correct method depending on what kind of data you're reading in.